Hi guys! In this world, there are places that are really dominated by snakes. Not just one or two, but thousands or even millions of snakes living side by side in one location. Starting from forbidden islands to caves with ceilings full of hanging snakes. Some places have even been banned by the government because they're too dangerous to visit. Here are the places with the most snakes in the world. In first place is Guam, a small territory of the United States in the Pacific Ocean, guys. At first, this island was first invaded by brown tree snakes, which accidentally arrived via cargo ships. But now, the population of these snakes has reached 13,000 per square mile, guys. These brown tree snakes themselves are actually only mildly venomous to humans, but their impact on Guam's ecosystem has been truly devastating. Of the 12 native bird species on this island, 10 have been driven extinct by these snakes. Not only that, these snakes also often get into power poles and cause blackouts. In fact, Guam experiences snake-related blackouts up to 80 times a year. Because there are so many snakes here, the United States government had to take extreme measures to control the snake population. They dropped thousands of mice filled with painkillers from helicopters. This medicine is actually very deadly for snakes, but safe for other animals. That way, if the snakes eat the mice, they will die immediately. Unfortunately, this effort was not very effective, and Guam is still struggling against the invasion of these brown tree snakes. In fact, some bird species in Guam can now only be found in captivity because they no longer exist in the wild after being eaten by the snakes. Next, there is the Snake Palace located in Flores, East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. This cave is filled with hundreds of reticulated pythons, which are the longest snakes in the world. Some of them can even reach lengths of more than 8 meters, guys. This cave itself is not a friendly place to visit, because the oxygen inside is very low due to piles of bat droppings that have accumulated for hundreds of years. Besides that, the cave floor is also very slippery because it's covered in mud, and the cave is completely dark. No kidding. Brady Barr from National Geographic was once attacked by a python while filming in this cave. His leg was bitten hard by a giant python in total darkness. The attack happened when he tried to catch one of the snakes hiding in a rock crevice. The pythons that inhabit this cave aren't just ordinary snakes, guys. They're apex predators capable of preying on goats and even humans. And because of their massive size, they don't have any natural predators inside the cave. Because of this uniqueness, this cave has become one of the most extreme places in Indonesia to encounter giant snakes. The combination of darkness, low oxygen, and hundreds of snakes as long as a pickup truck makes this cave feel like hell for people who are afraid of snakes. But for cave researchers, it's a paradise for studying python behavior in their natural habitat. Next, there's the Narcisse snake dens in Manitoba, Canada, which is the place with the largest gathering of snakes in the world, guys. After winter, more than 70,000 garter snakes gather in the limestone pits. There are so many of them that the snakes look like a moving living carpet, guys. Fortunately, these red garter snakes are not venomous and are not dangerous to humans. But their huge numbers are guaranteed to give anyone who sees them goosebumps. These snakes are there initially to hibernate during the winter, and when mating season comes, they all come out at the same time and immediately form a mating ball made up of thousands of snakes. It's no joke. When mating season arrives, hundreds of male snakes can chase after a single female snake. The result is a huge ball made up of dozens or even hundreds of snakes all entwined together. This phenomenon happens on the ground and can be seen directly by visitors. In fact, this place has become a unique tourist attraction where people can witness the phenomenon of thousands of snakes gathering in one spot. Next on the list is Ilha de Queimada Grande, or better known as Snake Island, guys. This island is located 32 kilometers off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, and is strictly off-limits to visitors by government order. Not only that, this 43-hectare island is home to 2,000 to 3,000 golden lancehead vipers. The golden lancehead viper itself is one of the most venomous snakes in the world, with venom that can melt human flesh and cause organ failure. In fact, the snake density on this island is estimated to reach 1 to 5 snakes per square meter, which means that every time you take a step on this island, there's a high chance there's a snake right under your feet. Because it's so dangerous, no humans live on this island, and only the Brazilian military and authorized researchers are allowed to set foot there. Because this island is isolated, the golden lancehead snakes have developed venom that is much more potent than their relatives on the mainland. In fact, scientists are studying their venom for human medicine, even though access to this island is nearly impossible. Because it's so dangerous, the Brazilian government bans visits to this island without permission and expert supervision. In addition, there are stories circulating that the lighthouse on the island was once guarded by a keeper who lived there with his family. Unfortunately, the last keeper died when a snake entered the lighthouse tower through the window. In 5th place is Cantemo Cave on the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. This cave has a phenomenon that's unlike anything else in the world. Snakes hanging from the cave ceiling, guys. The snakes here are red rat snakes that live in the crevices of the cave roof and hunt bats from above. And when dusk comes, thousands of bats will come out of the cave to look for food. At that moment, the snakes hanging above are already waiting in a position ready to strike. They detect the bats through changes in air pressure caused by the flapping wings. Incredibly, these snakes can strike with high precision in total darkness. They don't rely on vision, but on senses that are highly sensitive to air movement. Every night, the battle between the snakes and bats happens right above the heads of anyone brave enough to enter the cave. This phenomenon wasn't known to the scientific world until a few years ago. The researchers who first documented it were surprised to see snakes hunting in such a way. In 7th place, there's Tonle Sap Lake in Cambodia, which holds some surprising facts, guys. This lake is home to millions of water snakes from various species, and every year, at least 6.9 million snakes are caught from the lake. In fact, guys, because there are so many snakes in this lake, Tonle Sap Lake has been named the largest snake harvesting site in the world. Interestingly, the snakes caught in this lake are used as food for crocodiles on farms and are also directly consumed by the local people. Because for the people of Cambodia, snakes are an important source of protein. Not only that, people here live in floating villages on the lake together with millions of snakes. Meanwhile, children here often play in the same water as mildly venomous snakes. The snake population in Tonle Sap itself changes with the seasons. During the rainy season, the lake expands up to 5 times its size, and the snakes spread out to a wider area. Meanwhile, during the dry season, they gather in the shrinking areas and become easier to catch. These snake catchers also have techniques that have been passed down from generation to generation. They can catch dozens of snakes in just a few minutes using only their bare hands. But still, the risk of being bitten always lurks every time they enter the water. In 7th place is the Everglades in Florida, which has become a battleground between snakes and alligators, guys. This swamp, which covers 6,000 square kilometers, has been invaded by 100,000 to 300,000 Burmese pythons. These snakes were originally brought in as pets, but were released into the wild and became uncontrollable. The Burmese python itself is one of the largest snakes in the world. They can grow to over 5 meters long and weigh more than 90 kilograms. They are capable of preying on deer, crocodiles, and other large animals. Incredibly, this python has drastically reduced the native mammal population in the Everglades. The number of raccoons has dropped by 99%, and opossums by up to 98%. Some small mammal species are now almost never seen in the wild. The Florida government itself has tried various ways to control the python population. Every year, the state holds the Python Challenge, a python hunting competition with cash prizes. Hundreds of hunters participate in this competition, and in one season, they can catch thousands of Burmese pythons to be exterminated. What makes the situation even worse is that Burmese pythons don't have any natural predators in Florida. Alligators, which are supposed to be the top predators, often end up becoming prey to these pythons. Those are the places with the most snakes in the world. I hope this information is useful, and see you in our next interesting video.